Today we're looking at the hottest altcoin in the Base ecosystem. It could be the next Aerodrome, and in fact, it's the hottest coin in all of crypto today, everybody. It is moving 117% just in the past 24 hours, and it is moving off the strength of a Coinbase listing. You can see, it's a nice little pump. Even CoinGecko tweeting about this token to their 2 million followers, and they don't really tweet about coins besides Bitcoin and some of the stronger projects. And like they said earlier, it is surging after the Coinbase listing, but the gains could be brief. Now, we're going to do a little breakdown comparing it to previous Coinbase listings for Base ecosystem plays because we have a clear blueprint, and I'm going to tell you my personal investment strategy when it comes to Degen. Am I a buyer? All right, so cryptocurrencies often jump after being listed by a tier 1 exchange like Coinbase, mostly based off the general hype, and you're going to have more buyers. However, these exchange listing pumps tend to be short-lived, especially when market sentiment is not favorable. But folks, is that actually true? We're actually going to look at the previous Coinbase listings of these Base ecosystem projects and see what happened then and what's going to happen now with Degen. Now, Jesse Pollak, he got to work fast, everybody. His first day back as a Coinbase executive, he got Degen listed. Now, if you don't know who Jesse Pollak is, very, very interesting story on this guy. He's one of the first builders of Base, potentially the very first builder on Base. He's a Coinbase executive. And what I found very telling, folks, is this is the executive team of Coinbase. One picture doesn't look like the rest. You can see they clearly had some photographer come in, taking all these very nice headshots. And I can imagine HR just reaching out to Jesse Pollak, like, come on, we got the photographer coming on Wednesday. We really need you to show up. If you could just dress nice, that would be great. He's like, use my CryptoPunk. HR is probably reaching out to Brian Armstrong. What do we do about this guy? And he's just probably replied, let that man build. Now, when we look at the rest of this tweet here, you can see his first day as a Coinbase executive, he gets Degen listed. Jesse Pollak did, and then it soared 70%, like really even higher than that, over 100% pump out of nowhere. But this is the important part. It's the other 4 tokens. Now, 0x Rishi, he tweeted out there's other tokens that have been supported for spot trading on Coinbase from Base. Well token, AERO, and Seam. Now, we're going to look at all 4 tokens and what happened after the Coinbase listing. Now, first one we're looking at is Moonwell. You can see, it's not up 118%. It's down 1.8%. It was listed September 24th, 2024. So we actually got to go to just about the last month to see this. And September 24th, 2024 was actually listed at noon. You can see it actually kind of started dumping right before the news. There's a little bit of a pump off the announcement. It was listed at noon, started dumping shortly before the announcement, probably off anticipated selling pressure. But then if you just fast forward 2-3 days later, it actually created a higher high and a higher low, and currently even in a higher low after all the insane stuff happening in the Middle East lately. Moonwell was not one to buy, immediately. It was good to wait a few hours, but, you had another opportunity a few days later. If you bought this spike, probably not the best move. Now, Well only happened September 24th, barely a week and a half ago. So let's look at Seam because we got a little bit more data. But folks, Degen is actually most like AERO, and I'm going to explain why I think it's more like AERO. But if we look at Seam here, you see something pretty similar. Selling after it launched. Seam was a day 1 listing. You see this launched on December 11th, and if we look, the token actually also launched on December 11th. So it's been nothing but sell pressure. Found a little bit of support there, and then fell back down, took another level lower. And so, $34 million market cap. I'm not saying Seam isn't going to do very bullish. I think it is going to perform pretty well, but buying based off the listing was not a great idea. In fact, it was a pretty terrible idea. And if you're wondering, I'm bullish on the token long term, I'm just kind of looking at the market cap. But if you look at the TVL, you can see TVL actually started to dump before it even was listed. The token, the protocol was being able to use. There just was no token to trade, so you could use the DeFi protocol. But then, selling started taking place a couple weeks before the actual listing. And then the TVL has just been largely flat since then. So we haven't seen any excitement or activity with Seam. Seam price market cap is higher than the total value locked, 34 million versus 20 million. But 20 million total value locked, you really want more than that, folks. So not super bullish on this project long term. But I said it's most like AERO. So why is it most like AERO? Well, that all boils down to Coinbase support. So what do we mean by Coinbase support? So Aerodrome. Very interesting listing scenario here. February 6, 2024. So it was like, wait, is that there? No, folks, it is actually not. We got to move the candle here. So we're going to move it to about this far. And you can see the spike of February 6 right here. And so you can see the spike for February 6th right here. So it was listed. It did have a little bit of a spike. And then the token ended up crashing. You see much lower on the 9th. If you got in a day early, good job. You got in 8 cents, a few days early. Then it went all the way up to 11 cents. Fast forward a couple more days, well, boom, it's back down to 8 cents. But then it went on this parabolic move up. Now, this is why I think it's similar to Degen, is the Coinbase support. What do you mean by Coinbase support, DZ? Well, Coinbase Ventures was continuously buying AERO tokens. Now, this is 3 months ago. This article is from July. And folks, this low, that is the little crypto crash that happened near the 4th of July weekend. And so Coinbase was actively buying the token as the token price was diminishing. And then you can see why we're getting a huge, huge pump. It fell all the way down to below 50 cents. And right now we're trading above $1. So very, very good 2x for everybody who copied Coinbase Ventures. We actually did a video about it then. Wish I would have bought more. But I said they're supporting Degen as well. Now we got to go back to this tweet here and look at Ox Rishi. So when we go to Ox Rishi's X account here, you can see it is the 4th base token. So we looked at the other 3. Well, AERO seem not too much information to be based off the listings. We got a day 1 listing. We got a listing a week and a half ago. And then we got AERO pumping, days and days after listing. Well, this is why, folks. It would be the first base token that we have supported across both spot and perps. Perps is perpetual futures. And when you go to Coinbase's perpetual futures, folks, they don't have a lot of crappy coins here. These are all strong projects. You got Bitcoin, you got Ethereum, you got Avalanche, Litecoin, Chainlink, Polkadot, Doge, Sheeb. Then, kind of repeat the list right there. So they don't have altcoin, rank 84. These are all top 25, top 30 projects. And perpetuals are based off a leverage play. So they're adding perpetual trading for Degen on Coinbase, and the executives are bullish. I can't help but get a little conspiratorial, put on my tinfoil hat here, and I think the executives are going to be longing Degen because they are bullish on this token. Now, let's talk about the token real quickly here. Degen, you zoom out, that price is way, way down. Yeah, it's only in the past 24 hours. It looks insane here. 117% pump. But when you zoom out, like I said, folks, it actually looks like a fairly good buying opportunity. Now, I do want to tell you, what would I do with the token? Am I a buyer after 117% pump? Well, folks, the answer is not right now, but I will be watching this token over the next 48, 72 hours. And if there's any kind of 30, 40% pullback, I plan on maybe trading or swapping some other alts, maybe even in the base ecosystem for some Degen. Don't know if I would sell my AERO for it, but, I got some other meme coins within that ecosystem. So maybe sell some Toshi, maybe any of the dust I have floating around in my base wallet. And Degen was the token off the Farcaster Web3 platform. So they had a little bit of a platform. It was for Web3 content creators, and you could tip in this token. So if you got it, if you use that platform, you're part of the airdrop. But now that we got Coinbase support in the form of perpetual futures, we got a lot of executive support in the form of that Degen that uses a CryptoPunk as his profile picture. I am pretty bullish on Degen, but maybe just not over the next 24, 48 hours. We saw what happened after these Coinbase listings. So that's my strategy for Degen. I would recommend put this coin on your radar. Very well could be the next AERO. That's all I got for you, and I'll see you in your base bags at the top.